Hey everybody, how's it going? Rick here with Hit and Run Candlesticks. This is Thursday, January 28, 2021. The market closed 24 minutes ago. I thought I'd get this video up and running for you. I wish I had a lot of great news and some great charts to look at, but I'm afraid the way the market is, it's just not that way. I have a few we'll look at, but I also want to talk a little bit about the market. First, AG. We had bought some AG down here. Might have been yesterday, I guess, or maybe no, you know what, it was yesterday. We bought some AG down here yesterday, and then today we had that beautiful gap up, and we ended up closing it up here. Closed it out in pieces. First thing this morning, I took half off. Then I took a little more off, and then I finally closed it all out. But ended up a fantastic trade. In fact, if it wasn't for AG, today wouldn't have been that great for me personally in my trading. But hey, it just takes one, right? Okay, so let's talk about the market a little bit. So here's what I see in the market, and this is problematic for me personally. I think every trader, you've got something you're good at, and I think every trader has something you're not so good at, and maybe something in between. Okay, so this is chop. We're in a choppy market, an undefined trend, recent trend, like the last couple of days, and this is where I have trouble trading the market. I mean, not every day is perfect. Not every market condition is perfect. So I want to talk about that. And when we're like this, I find it very difficult. You've got some long trades out there. You've got some short trades. And, the truth be told, most people, not everybody, I think most people, they work their butts off during the day. When the market is like this, and at the end of the day, you really don't have anything to show for it but a sore butt. Then, of course, there are a few people that have something good to show for it. I'm not saying everybody is. I'm just saying that this is a tough time to trade. This is hard. What decision are you going to make? Things like that. The market can flip on a dime when we're in an area like this. So what I've done here is I put a line at this 381.10, and I'm just looking at touches. All I want is as many touches as possible. And I think that's a pretty good line right there. And then down here at the bottom, 373.65, I think that's pretty good for lots of touches. I'm happy with that. So what I kind of think here is we need some market direction, and what I'm going to look for is positive trading over that 381.10. I'm going to look at that bullish, quite bullish. We start moving down and we get below this 370.365. I'm going to look at that a little on the bearish side. In the meantime, we've got somewhat of a choppy market. So trade cautiously, trade smart. I'm chicken. So I kind of back out of a few things, and what I do buy, I buy a lot less of, and I'm just a bit more cautious. Okay, I want less risk out there. All right, with that said, let's take a peek at a few charts. IWM here. I don't have IWM on the watch list, which maybe I should have actually put it there. And so let's clean all this out right here. I am currently short IWM, and I ended up closing green today. I actually shorted it yesterday, and it popped up to the T-line here. It came back down. At one point today, I was red. It looks like I closed down to the green side. This was a 3-bar chart trade yesterday, so I took my cues off the 3-bar chart here. And you can see here we're lower highs. We have a bottom that's forming. We fall out of this bottom. Looks to me like it could run down a bit more. So I'll keep an eye on that. That's really not one of the trade ideas, although I could certainly do that. Let's mark this out. So this would be the buy box, a little to the downside here. And then for a stop, probably going to use something in the neighborhood of about 212.40 up here. So we'll paint this red like that. There we go. There we are, something like that. And I'm actually going to jack that up just a little bit. There we are, 313.25 on that one. Now, none of these I've gone through and set up the buy box and the stop, so we're going to be doing that as we go here. ADT might be a chart. Now, I'm only going to look for a buy signal, so I'm going to put this line right in here. It's very hard to put a stop in on something when you don't have the buy signal. It's not ready to be bought. I just like the way the chart has been trending. I like the way the chart broke out of that 9.25 area, and I like the pullback. So what I'm going to wait for is not only a buy signal, but probably a couple of them. A little bit of a pattern down here. I'm going to look for that, and based on just what I have here, again, I can't make this determination exactly where the stop will be until it's actually bought, because it might not even be bought until it curls back up and breaks out, which case I would have to raise that stop. But there, 9.25. Here's the buy box here on ADT. SPWR is one that's looking pretty good here. I do want to point out that it has earnings on the 10th, so I have got to make a note to myself on that. Be very careful with this one. We're getting a little bit far away from the 50-period moving average here, so a little caution. Again, just reminding myself of this. I'm going to put the buy box in there like that. We're going to put the stop in here. We're going to adjust it real quick. There we go. And I'm probably going to move that stop down to about 47. Where's it at here? There we go. Right in there. And then we'll look for a buy in this area. Once it's bought, we'll adjust the stop, because there's no way in the world we want to buy this high up here and then look for a 15.5% stop. This is just the area we're going to look to enter. WTI, a couple of oil charts kind of popped up today, a couple. And I've sort of got my eye on WTI. We've had 1, 2, we'll say 3, 4 bars up. And then here we've pulled back here. So I'm looking for that rally, that pullback, that buy signal, and then back up. I'm going to put a little mark up here to remind myself we've got this top. I'm going to put another mark in here to set the stop area right here. Sorry, I probably should have had this done. This makes the video a little bit longer. And I'm going to drop the stop down, about this area right in here. And you can see the touches where we failed, supported until we failed. So I'm kind of liking that, yeah. And because we don't have a buy signal, I can't do it the way I normally do the buy box. So I'm just going to come down here a little bit like this and put it down into here. So we'll look for a nice little pullback, set up in here, and then maybe we get that breakout. Coke is a little out of my nature here. This is not typically the chart we're going to look for. But I like the idea of Coke maybe being a longer term trade, something like that. I do want to remind myself it has earnings on the 10th of February, just as around the corner. So we'll be watching that. But there's a chance that Coke, let's get rid of that. Let's bring this line here and see if we can make some sense of this. So here's Coke here. So I think what I'm going to look for is Coke to break out and then come back and settle. So we may be looking for that entry over in this area, and we would need to see price do something like this, up and then come back. And maybe it's the earnings that does that. We'll see. Maybe price stays in this area and then earnings will pop it up. Maybe it won't go up until earnings. Get the earnings out of the way. We'll watch for that pop if it does that, and then we'll watch for a little pullback here, and that could set us up moving higher on Coke for a possible possible longer term trade. CMCSA, nice day today. Very, very nice day. Held up very well. Here we have a nice flat trading bottom right here. Right in here. There we go. And here we've popped up. And hell, man, the more I look at this, the more I think that's a nice chart. So here we've popped up, and it has earnings. I just noticed this. And I honestly don't know if this had earnings this morning or if it's later this evening. I'm almost going to think it was maybe this morning, though. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then what I'm looking for is some consolidation. Set that chart pattern up. And the typical chart pattern we're looking for is rally, which we have. And then we're looking at pullback, and that's what we want. And then we're going to look for buyers to step in, and we'll see it right there. And then we may consider that for a trade. For a stop, since we don't have that buy signal in there, again, that's kind of hard to place that stop in there. Right now, I'll just, something around that $50, 15-cent mark might work. Let's take a look at Apple. Now, here's Apple. My favorite, and not only my favorite, it's the only chart pattern I really trade. And it can happen anywhere on a chart, like in a rounded bottom breakout maybe. It can happen. Coming off the bottom into a pinball setup, the same chart is what I'm going to look for. And that's simply something that rises and then pulls back, and then I start to see buyers coming in. Something that rises, let's do that different color. Something that rises, something that pulls back, and then I want to see those buyers coming in, just like that. Well, we've got part of it. We have part of it. We've got the rise. We still may be in the pullback time. It may pull back a little bit more. Right now, I've got this set up this way here. I'd like here. Let's just get rid of this one. There we go. Paint that one red so we stay the same. There we are. So what I would like to see is, pull back into here, kind of settle down, see the buyers come in, and then maybe pick some Apple up. If it doesn't stop here, then let it come on, we'll let it come on down, because a little gap here, it might want to come back into that. And if it does that, then we'll just simply look for another buy area down into here. But mainly we're going to wait for the buyers to step in, and that will help us with our entry. Telray, I've got Telray on here. I bought some Telray today. Certainly didn't produce the way one would want it to. But CGC, man, that thing acted great today. That just really popped up there. So maybe, just maybe, Telray will get its mojo tomorrow, or maybe even early next week. We'll get its mojo here, and then maybe Telray will set something up. So, like I said, I bought this today, and we'll see we'll see what it does here. Anything below, ooh, that's too hot. It's too low, really. There we go. Anything below about 1755, I'll have to rethink this trade. If we stay in the buy box area, then I will stay with that trade in here. Yeah, maybe. Really have to monitor the market on what we do on the market tomorrow. But here we're up, and we've pulled back. Nice little rounded bottom so far. We've got a hammer here. We just have to be careful with the market. I want to go back to the SPY, and let's take a look at the 3-bar chart. And you can see the 3-bar chart. We've got this blue ice failure setting up. So we gapped down, went down further, and now we've rallied up. And the 3-bar chart, the last bar of today, did not do this chart any justice at all. So I'm very cautious with this, with the overall market. I know the trades that I'm looking at were long outside of the IWM. the IWM short, and and here's a 3-bar chart there. You see we've got that blue ice failure. So far we'll see, but with this market anything can happen. We really don't want to fight the Feds. We don't want to fight almost $2 trillion being pumped into the market. We don't want to fight that. So be very, very careful. I'm going to be very careful. Tomorrow's Friday, so I'm going to be moving closer to cash. Tomorrow's also the, I believe it's the last trading day of the month. So yes, it is. So our statement, the Road to Wealth statement, will be coming out, and we'll do pretty well. Looks like we're going to be up pretty good here. So we'll get that statement out. I'll get it posted to the website, and I'll let everyone know when that happens, okay? You guys all take care, and we'll see you hopefully in the trading room tomorrow, all right? Thanks.